Hello, good morning. Thank you all so much for attending our webinar. We are really excited to share the wonderful videos with you guys this morning. We are going to be presenting on KFK. Stacy will be doing that one. Shouldn't say KFK, it's actually the Allison's Pantry Spices. KFK is the manufacturer, but Stacy will get a little bit more into that. And then Becky, who had to take a phone call real quick, she is going to be doing the Krusteaz mixes. They're kind of a new line for us. We've had a few of them already, but because our current manufacturer is making our what mixes, for sure the cookie mix. I can't remember the other one they made special order, but it's like almost 2-month lead time for our cookie mix, and that's why we've been zeroing it. Anybody who's had a problem with that, I apologize. We ordered it a month and a half ago. It's taking an eternity to get here, so that's why we had to make the switch. I always like to tell people why, even if it doesn't really matter a whole lot. But anyway, she's going to be going over that, and Julie will be going over the secrets to success. So super excited for all these 3 videos. As always, if you're on I think it was or not as always, but if you're on an Android device, I don't think that they have support on that. So if you're on like a Samsung Galaxy or something like that, you will not be able to see the videos unless something has changed in the software. I believe you can be on like an iPhone or an iPad and it will show the videos. So just kind of keep that in mind. You know, if you can get to a computer, that would be really, really good to be able to see the webinars. If not, you'll just hear the audio, which is really, really great anyway. But it's really fun seeing these ladies actually show the product, and it's like a cooking show. It was really funny before this webinar. Our warehouse manager John walked into my office as I was watching Stacy's, and he was like, "Josh, if I didn't know that was Stacy, I would think that you were like watching a professional cooking show during work." I'm like, "I know, right?" So I mean, she's amazing. They're all amazing. It just, I really appreciate them doing the work on these. Here's Becky. They all do an awesome job, and I really appreciate you guys coming to watch these. We have a really high, almost 50 reps have signed up for this one. So just really excited to show you guys this. As always, if you have any questions, you can type them into the questions box down at the bottom of your control panel. You can actually pop that out in a separate window or keep it. What I'll do is answer the questions as best I can throughout the webinar, and then at the end of it, any relevant questions that weren't like tech support related, I will go over again just in case you missed them. So feel free to chat it up with me throughout the webinar. I'm happy to answer anything that you need. And I guess without further ado, I'll go ahead. We'll jump off our webcams. I will start the videos just one after the other, and then at the end we'll have a Q&A. So thanks so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right, let me get to the webinars real quick. First will be Stacy with the Allison's Pantry Spices.
Hi everybody, I'm excited today to teach you a little bit about the Allison's Pantry bulk spices. As you know, spices have been around since the dawn of time, and they're great for enhancing all of our foods and our vegetables and everything that we cook. It just modifies what we cook and makes it so much more tasty to us. They're very convenient because we have them right at our fingertips, so the trick is to learn what you can do with them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Why do we like our Allison's Pantry spices? Number one, because of the quality. Our prices beat the grocery store hands down, ounce for ounce. We have a great price, and they come in large, nice 1-pound bag sizes. Most of them are 1-pound bag, and you can't buy this amount of spice at the grocery store for even close to what we offer it for. The company we get our spices from is out of Oregon, and everything, almost 90% of the spices we get are domestic, which means they come from our country. We do have a couple that come from outside of the country, most of the Indian flavored spices that we have. The company ensures that those spices come from safe areas and that clean is a priority to them. They want to make sure we're getting good product and good quality. So today we're going to learn a lot about different blends and ways to use our spices. I don't know about you, but I have a great big shelf of spices, and I really don't use them as well as I should, and so it's been kind of fun today to put together a few different blends that I'm going to teach you about and get to use those, and I think you'll enjoy it. So number one, let's talk a little bit about our shelf life. First of all, the shelf life, the government standard is 4 years on the shelf life of a spice, but most of your culinary chefs and people who use the spices a lot will tell you should be about 2 years. So there's a couple critical elements to keeping your spices fresh, and number one is you want airtight containers. So make sure when you put your spices in, you're going to make sure you have a nice tight lid. You're going to keep them airtight, and it's best to keep them in a cool and dark place. Light tends to fade the colors of our spices, and they lose some of their potency in the daylight. Glass, if you choose to use glass instead of the little plastic containers, glass tends to retain more of the oils better. So glass is actually preferable. It's not always convenient, as in this morning I threw one across my floor accidentally and it breaks all over. So I prefer the plastic, but glass is actually preferred to maintain the freshness a little longer. You never want to store your spices above your stove. A lot of us do tend to do that. I don't, but a lot of people do tend to put them above their stove because they're close to get when you're using them in front of your stove, but the heat from your stove actually takes the potency away from your spices too. And another thought is don't store them above your dishwasher, because your dishwasher emits so much humidity that it'll also take the potency out of your spices. Whole spices tend to last longer than the ground spices, so if you prefer to have the most fresh, you might want to get whole spices and grind it yourself, but I'm too lazy to do that, so I just assume by the ground and just change them every couple years. Let's see, so another way to remember, so if you have whole spices, count 4 years on that. This is what the chefs say, 4 years on that, 2 years on the ground. You'll want to test them by their appearance and the aroma. If you look at them, and I don't always pay attention when I get my spices, but I do have an example. This is nutmeg, and I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it. So this nutmeg I've had for quite a few years. I had an old label on the jar. I don't use it all that often, so I had it in my jar. I pulled it out. I got a new bag of nutmeg just this week, and this is the difference in the color, and I was kind of blown away by what it is. Okay, as you notice, they're quite different. The new one is so much more bright and vivid in the color. The smell is more potent in the new than versus the old. So it has told me today that I need to go through my spice cabinet and revamp some of my spices and freshen up some of them that have been there for a while. And that's another selling point that you can use with your customers. Just encourage them to go through their spice cabinets and see how old their spices are, and maybe they want to revamp their spice. That would help in times when they may not think they need anything to order. Just kindly remind them that, oh yeah, our spices are great. Have you checked your spices lately? Maybe you want to look at those and see how fresh they are. Okay, really quick, I want to show you a little bit how I put my spices in the jar. So when you get your spices from Alice's Pantry, and you can teach your customers this too because it works really good for them. I don't like them in the bag, so I prefer to get our containers. And we have two sizes of containers. This is the 32-ounce size, and then we have the 16-ounce size. And I've always had the 32 because it'll fit almost the whole entire bag in it. Some bags have too much in it, but most of them will fit in a bag. But I really like these little ones because they're a little easier to store. So what I do to them is I get them, and then I open them up, dump them in the containers, and then I cut this label out. Just cut it right out and stick it on your jar. And I just take shipping tape. It's like so easy. Take your strip of shipping tape, lay that on your jar, And then you have your label on the jar. And they all look really nice on your shelf, just lined up so you can see. And then in my cupboard is kind of, they're condensed, like sitting against each other, so I can't always see unless I pick them up. So I take a black Sharpie marker on the top and write on there what it is too, so I can see it from the top. There's like no comparison. Remember I talked earlier about how the price, I mean, this is what we get from the store, these little tiny jars. They're like $6 to $8. And here you're getting that same amount from Allison's Pantry. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about our top sellers. First on the list is the Popeye spinach dip. If you haven't tried Popeye spinach dip, it's amazing. It's always been a bestseller when I do a show or a boutique. I always sample Popeye's spinach dip, and everyone loves it. It works great for, you can use it for a lot of different things. If you want it for chips, if you want it for just dips and veggies, it works wonderful. You can give it as a gift if you want to just mix this up and put it in little containers and give it to people for Christmas and give them just enough to make one batch. They would love that. It's a great fun thing, and it works really good for serving for any of your entertaining. I like to just keep a deli cup in my fridge, and this is like one batch. One batch is about this much, and I just put it in the fridge, and then we have it whenever we want veggies or anything, and it's right there. So the deli cups work great for the dip, for Popeye's dip. The next one down is our Olay taco seasoning, and it's kind of crazy that our taco seasoning is such a good seller, but everyone loves our taco seasoning, and it's consistently one of our top sellers. And over the grocery store packets, if you ever buy the little packets, we beat them just crazy in price, because you're getting this big amount for the price that you are, and it beats the store so much. You can use this for tacos, enchiladas, pulled pork, and chicken, so there's a lot of variation there. You can try it on. Okay, the next item is our onion soup and dip mix, and if you haven't tried this, you're missing out. The onion soup and dip mix is not just for dip, although the dip is wonderful with the onion soup and dip mix. I had this for years and never even made the dip. I used to use this, actually I still do use this. Primarily what I bought it for was to use it for my roast. So on Sundays I'd throw my roast in the crock pot and then put about 3 tablespoons of this in on top of it, and it makes your gravy taste amazing when you use your broth. It is also one of our top sellers. It's great for fall slow cooker recipes, like I told you, the pot roast. And then it's also really good for the dip. Like I told you, the dip is wonderful. You can use this in soups, you can use it in meatloaf as a seasoning, you can use it in gravies, and then of course any kind of your roast, pork, beef, any of them will be great with this. And last but not least, what we're going to talk about today is the Garlic Supreme. Garlic Supreme, #1 seller. We have so many people love it. It's great and it pairs with so many things of AP. Everything we can use it for. You can upsell this anytime anyone buys a bread product. Offer the Garlic Supreme, because it goes really good sprinkled on bread. You can make garlic butter with it, which I'm going to show you later what I use that for. And you can use it in meats and marinades and in all your sauces, so it works really good. The key ingredients are garlic, onion, parsley, and salt and chives. So you can't miss with this blend. And then I don't have a picture of it, but our pumpkin pie spice is actually coming out too, and it's wonderful for fall. It can make pumpkin pie sugar, which I'm going to show you a little later how we did one of those. And then you can add it to all of your fall recipes just to bump up your recipes and give them a little bit of boost of flavor. You can use it for any of your pies, cakes, any of your cookies, chutneys, or jams and jellies if you like pumpkin in them. Apple butter, like apple butter with pumpkin flavoring in it, would be great. And then any pork and beef works really good with pumpkin flavors too. And of course, we do offer our pure vanilla powder. We're going to talk a little bit more about this later. It's great in baked goods. It works really good on toast, on pancake syrup, in frostings. And the good thing about frostings is it doesn't color up your frostings if you want a white frosting. Today we're going to talk about spice blends. And I've got a few different ideas for you, but actually it's up to you. Whatever you'd like to throw in, you can do. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is the all-purpose seasoning. I don't know what you have used in the past, but I grew up with Lowry's. It's what I always used. It's what my mom used. And so to me, I never had a burger without Lowry's. Well, today I found this recipe for an all-purpose seasoning salt, and I put it together, and it's like night and day between the two. And honestly, I prefer to use what we mixed up today. And I'm going to show you what they look like, and then I'm going to mix it up for you and show you what's in it. Okay, as you can see, this is what I mixed up. This is the Lowry's. Now, which one would you prefer to put on your hamburger? This one's just kind of blah. You can see all the different spices in this one. It's just made me understand how important it is to have fresh, to use what we like in our burgers. Okay, so let's put together this all-purpose seasoning. It has salt. Here's on this plate, you can see all the different ingredients. So we have paprika, we have onion powder and garlic powder right here. We have black pepper, we have cayenne. Actually, I think I got those two to get mixed up. Paprika and cayenne. I used real salt, the one that we sell, or real salt, because I prefer real salt. And then we have oregano and thyme. And I just put them on the plate because it's kind of pretty, and I always wanted to do that. So I put it on there, but basically it's a tablespoon of each. These ones are a tablespoon and a half of each for a batch. And I want you to see, I put it together and got these little containers, the little 16-ounce containers with the lid, and found these fun little labels, which you can find at your craft store. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're little, you can write on them. You just get a white pen and write on them and decorate. So they're kind of decorative, and they'd be great for gifts if you want to give your neighbors a gift. I thought this would be a fun one to say, hopefully your season will be great during Christmas or something like that. It's a kind of a fun thing. And then you can actually give them the recipe so that they'd want to purchase our own spices to do it. But this is about 4 of the recipe that I'm going to give you. So at the end you will get a PDF with all of these recipes that you can do it yourself at home. But it's great. I'm excited to try it. We're going to have to eat it as soon as we get the grill out so we can cook this evening and try this seasoning salt because it looks so good. But basically what I did, the easiest way to do it is just to put all your spices in here and shake it up. And the only thing it does is it makes your glass a little dusty. So if you're going to give it as a gift, maybe you want to mix it in a bowl and then put it in the jar, and then it stays clean like this one. Live and learn. I'm learning as I go. So all you need is your tablespoon, and you're just going to put that. I just put them in this little glass bowl and mixed them all up. So there you go, and you just mix that up, and there's your seasoning salt, all-purpose seasoning salt. That's a fun one. And you'll love it. So try that out. Now, I made a couple other ideas that I put together. This one, and I wasn't going to put it together on camera, so you'll just can do this at home, but it's a French fry and burger seasoning. You know when you go to the restaurants that we go to, like Smash Burger has rosemary fries, and other places have Parmesan fries. So just do your own at home. Get yourself out your Ore-Ida French fries that we sell and sprinkle on, and you don't have to go out and eat. You have it right there. There's a couple other recipes that are attached. There's a Greek seasoning. Then there's also a Mrs. Dash recipe in there, and I didn't go ahead and put that together today, but I'm going to go ahead and give that to you. It is a no-salt alternative, so if you're trying to cut your salt, it's right there, so you can try that one out. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about a couple different spices that you can have. They're blends that you can have in your kitchen. They make it fun to just bump up things that you're making. The first one is a gingerbread spice mix. We don't sell it like this, so what you're going to do is mix this yourself and put your own in a little container, and it'd be great for gifts too for your neighbors. And then the second one is the pumpkin pie spice. And we do sell a pumpkin pie spice, but if you'd rather, you can make your own. There's a couple other things, other ideas we can do with these seasonings, and so I'm going to go ahead and start those. And the one I want to talk to you a little bit about is infused sugars. They're like all the rave now, and I've never really known about them, but I kind of studied a little bit on them and found them. And I want to give credit to the Pioneer Woman, because it was her website that I found a lot of these fun recipes on, and you're going to get those in the PDF. But on the infused sugars, there's so many flavors that you can do with infused sugars, and I went ahead too. She had so many fun different kinds of jars that you can store them in and give them as gifts. I found these at Hobby Lobby, and they just look so cute. And you put your little labels on them and then give this as a gift or keep it on your shelf. So there's a few different ones. I went ahead and did the vanilla sugar, and I'm going to do it for you today and show you how easy it is. Now, infusing, what happens is you usually put your seasonings or your spice in the sugar, and then you let it stay for, it takes about 5 days to be able to soak up some of the flavor from the spice. Or if you want to jumpstart that, you can use your dry spices to infuse the sugar too. So I went ahead today and used the dry vanilla, whereas normally you could use a vanilla bean, and you would just fill your jar with sugar and then put a couple of vanilla beans in there and let it sit for about 5 days, and then you go ahead and take your vanilla bean out when it's all infused, and the flavor, will be in that sugar. So to make the vanilla sugar, I just went ahead and used our Allison's Pantry vanilla, the powdered vanilla, and you use it, the standard that she makes them with is 4:1, so you would want 4 times the sugar as you do have for the spice. And so I put in, this has got 8 tablespoons of sugar, and then I'm just going to put 2 tablespoons of the vanilla powder in there. Look how easy that is. And vanilla powder, and then you just take a lid, and you can actually use a spoon to stir it up, but if you want, you can just shake it in the jar and stir it up. And then you have your vanilla sugar. Now, vanilla sugar is great for steamed milk. If you want to make, I have a little dust going on here. If you want a little milk, you can, she dips it in glasses. If you're going to serve a really pretty glass, you can dip the edge of it in the vanilla sugar. You can add it any place you would normally add sugar, you add vanilla sugar, and it'll give a little bit of a sweeter taste. So I thought vanilla sugar was a fun one. That's pretty much what I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed some of the ideas we have with our spices. Be adventuresome, go out there and try some new different flavors, and enjoy.
And there is our first video. She does such an amazing job. There's a few of you that look like you're kind of having some problems. Look like one, exit out and come back in, see if that fixes it. If you're on a phone, again, I mean, I've heard iPhones do work, but maybe yours is having problems or something. Try to get on a computer, exit out, go back in, try clicking on your control panel full screen, and hopefully we can get it figured out, because these videos are just so good. Really loving them. Hope you guys are loving them too. Looks like you are. So we'll go ahead and start the second video. Here we go.
Hi everyone, this is Becky, and today I'm excited to talk to you about our Krusteaz professional mixes we're now offering. These are great mixes, and their motto says, convenience meets creativity. These are wonderful mixes. They're just add water, so they're great to just make up as is with just adding water, or they can be easily dressed up and made a little bit more fancy and different by customizing them with your favorite flavors. So in 1932, the women of the Seattle Bridge Club had a great idea for an easy to make pie crust. So the combining of crust and ease created Krusteaz, and they have grown from their simple beginnings with the pie crust to a full line of innovative and convenient products for professional and home bakers. So Allison's Pantry is very excited to offer several of their mixes in our catalogs now, and we will be covering the cinnamon streusel coffee cake, the home-style cornbread mix, buttermilk biscuit mix, devil's food cake mix, all-purpose cookie mix, and the yellow cake mix. And these mixes come with directions on the back. Of course, being a professional line, it shows using the whole entire 5-pound box, or it's broken into a half a box. But for us at home, and we won't need that much, we've broken it down to 1/4 of a box or even 1/8 of a box, depending on how much it makes. So let's get started. All right, to get started, I would like to cover some general information with the cake mixes. So first off, when you're preparing your pans, to bake, you want to make sure you spray the bottom of your cake pans, or you want to use muffin papers if you're making cupcakes or muffins. When you're measuring ingredients into your bowl, you want to be very accurate. That is a key element in having a really ideal cake mix. So make sure that as you scoop it, scoop your cups, you want to measure it off, level it off with a knife, and put it into your bowl. With the water, you want to use tap water that is slightly cool. Do not use hot water. That will overactivate the leavening system in these mixes. You want to add half your water first into the bowl, and then all of your cake mix. And then you're going to start to mix it. And what that does is it allows the creaming of the sugar and the shortening. So that process is done initially, and then once you've mixed it, as long as it tells you to mix it on the box, then you're going to start to add the rest of the water into that mix. You want to make sure you scrape the sides of your bowl and the bottom of your bowl and your beaters so that all the cake mix is mixed in evenly, so you'll get a very consistent batter. And you don't, once you put the cake mix into your muffin tins or into your cake pans, you don't want to shake it on the counter to remove air bubbles. This process of mixing that they tell us how to do this will give you just the right amount, so you'll get a really good finished product. When you're baking, you want to start with a minimum amount of time that it tells you to bake that mix, and then check it. And if putting a toothpick down in the center and pulling it out, if it comes out clean, then your cake is done. If it's not, let it bake a little bit longer and check it again. That way, you're going to get a really good finished product. Another way to check it is to lightly press on the center of your cake, and if it springs back, then it's ready also. The cinnamon streusel coffee cake mix is a 7-pound box. Comes with a bag, 5 pounds of the coffee cake mix and 2 pounds of the streusel mix. All right, our cinnamon streusel coffee cake with the Dole strawberries is done, and this is delicious, and I want you to see the inside of this. We're going to open up the cupcake paper and cut it open for you so you can see how yummy this looks inside. There you go. And it's delicious. We've already tried one. The next mix we're going to talk about is our yellow cake mix. This is great just by itself. You don't have to do anything with it, but you can add all kinds of great things to it. So today I baked up one batch of the yellow cake mix, and I made 2 8x8 portions of the cake. And so I have one down, and we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of prepared vanilla pudding in the center on top of the first layer. And we're going to smooth it around nice and smooth, and then we're going to put the second layer on top of it, and then I've made a chocolate icing, and we're going to pour that over the top, and we will have a very easy, very fast Boston cream pie. There we go. Got that pudding all smoothed out. This is our wonderful Jell-O vanilla pudding instant. So now we'll go ahead and put the second layer on top. Then we've got a nice chocolate frosting, and we're going to pour that over the top. And the recipe for this chocolate icing will be at the end of this webinar. There we go. We're just going to smooth that out to the edges. It's going to drip a little bit, and that's okay. That's what makes it yummy. All right, and then you just let it cool to set, and you've got a Boston cream pie. See how simple that was? And so yummy. There we go. The next cake mix that we'll go over is the Devil's Food Cake. Now, with both of these cake mixes I'm showing you today, you want to follow the directions on the back to the letter, and it does show a half batch, just half that again to get a quarter batch, and it's perfect for making the 2 layers of the yellow cake for the Boston cream cake, and for making 24 muffins in ice cream cone cups. So what we're doing today is I mixed up 1/4 of a box of the Devil's Food Cake mix, and then I put in 1 cup of our Ghirardelli semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then what we do is you're going to take our great cookie scoop. I love this thing. I use it all the time. And you're going to put 2 scoops into each one of these. and then you're going to bake it according to the box directions, and that's just the perfect amount. You want it to be at about 3/4 inches from the top, and then it's going to bake up really, really great. So you're going to fill up every one of these cups with the cake mix, and then you're going to bake them. And when they're done, they look great. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our cream cheese icing that comes in the tub, and I'm going to ice the top of the cake, or these cupcakes. Okay, so I've iced the cupcake, and now we're going to put some sprinkles on top. And look at that fun treat for your kids. This is so easy. You can make these and send them with them for their birthday or a party at school. The next Krusteaz item we're going to talk about is the all-purpose cookie mix, and I have to tell you, this was the absolute easiest mix I've used so far. You just put in 3 3/4 cups of cookie mix, and then 1/4 cup of water, and of course water first, then the mix, and you mix it up for about 45 seconds, and you've got a really nice cookie dough ready to go. And you can do all kinds of things with this cookie dough. So it talks about doing cutouts. If you want to do a cutout, you can just take the cookie dough, roll it out onto a lightly floured surface to about an 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch thickness, and then cut out the cookies that you want, put it on your cookie sheet, and bake them. Simple, so easy. But today I'm going to do a snickerdoodle cookie using our cinnamon vanilla French toast sugar. And so it talks about it tells you just to get your cookie scoop. Again, love these cookie scoops. Get a scoop in your hand, roll it into a ball. Okay, and then we're going to roll it into the cinnamon vanilla French toast sugar, get it all coated nice and even, stick it on your cookie sheet, and you're going to do several of those, and then you're going to take a glass and you're going to flatten it. There you go. That simple. Make up all the cookies and bake them, and they'll be done. All right, another great thing we can do with this cookie mix is we're going to make up a batch of our fudge brownie. A fudge brownie mix. Another fun thing to do with the all-purpose cookie mix is we're going to make homemade brookies. So what you're going to do is make up one batch of our richly delicious fudge brownie mix, stick it in your pan, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then we took our cookie mix, did 1/4 of a box, which is one batch. We mixed it up and we added 1 cup of the Ghirardelli semi-sweet mini chips, mixed it all up in the cookie batter, and then I spooned it all over the top of the brownie mix. And now we're going to go cook it at 350 degrees in the oven for 20 to 23 minutes, the directions for the brownies. Okay, so with our all-purpose cookie mix, we have made these homemade brookies using our fudge brownie mix and the cookie mix with the Ghirardelli semi-sweet mini chips in it. Doesn't that look great? Now I did have to cook this an extra 10 minutes because the middle was still really gooey, so I wanted it to be firmer. So 10 more minutes then it said to cook the brownie mix. And here are our snickerdoodles. We took the cookie mix, rolled it in the cinnamon vanilla French toast sugar, and baked them, and they turned out great. So an awesome cookie mix, super, super easy. I think you'll love it. The next product we're going to do is the Krusteaz Homestyle Cornbread Mix. Again, I just added water mix that is amazing. I just couldn't believe how easy it was to use it. Some tips with using the cornbread is whatever pan you're going to use, you want to lightly spray it, and then you want to follow the exact directions, and we'll give you a breakdown for 1/4 of a box, which is pretty much one batch. I used 1½ cups of water plus 2½ teaspoons. So 1½ cups plus 2½ teaspoons of water, and it's just cool to the touch. And then 4 cups of mix, and mix it with a beater, and make sure you follow the directions on that. So many minutes to get it all mixed up, scrape the bowl, and then so many more minutes, and then it's ready to go. Now I like my cornbread thin. I don't like big thick, so I used our cookie sheets. One batch filled the cookie sheet really nice. So I've done 2 batches here. The first one is just the cornbread, just a regular batch. As you can see, nice and golden brown, perfect size. And then I found a recipe last week or the week before for triple berry honey butter. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. So I've got honey butter on my cornbread, and then I decided to try and dress it up a little with the suggestion I received. And this one is with a can of drained corn and a can of green chilies. And then you bake it, and 5 minutes before it's done, I brought it out and I put shredded cheddar cheese on top of it and then finished baking it. So I'm going to show you what these two look like. So here's the cornbread with the triple berry honey butter, and here's the cornbread with the chilies and corn and cheese on it. Doesn't that look wonderful? Some other tips about using this. You can put it in a 9x12 cake pan if you like the thicker cornbread. It will work great there. Make sure you preheat your oven before you bake it. And the cornbread, it says the cornbread could develop cracks around the outside. That's normal. So this is a great mix. I was very, very impressed with it. We're going to cover the Krusteaz buttermilk biscuit mix now. This is a really great mix. You need to follow the directions exactly. Now for 1/4 of a box, which would be 1 batch, you're going to use 3 3/4 cups mix, and you're going to either use milk, buttermilk, or water. Now the key here is ice cold liquid. So drained ice water, cold water out of your refrigerator, or ice cold water out of your tap, or cold milk or cold buttermilk. So the liquid needs to be cold. You'll put the liquid in your bowl first, and then 3/4 of a cup of the mix in. And I did my first batch using a hand mixer, and it made it really sticky. So I made some great drop biscuits with it, which I have the finished product here. They turned out really, really nice. So that's a great idea, is to use the mix to make drop biscuits. You can even add in shredded cheese into the mix before you do the drop biscuits, and gives you a little bit more flavor there. So the second batch I mixed by hand, and then I let it sit for about 10 minutes. That helped it absorb a lot of the liquid so I could handle it better. And so I rolled it out onto a lightly floured surface, and now I'm going to cut some biscuits. Now, you want to roll it out, loosen it off your counter, fold it over, and then roll it out again to about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thickness. And then with the biscuits, as you're cutting them, again, you want to straight down and straight up. Do not twist, because that will seal the dough and it will not rise like it's supposed to as it's baking. The other thing too is that when you're putting them on the sheet, you want to put them right next to each other. That will help them to rise straight up so that they'll not rise uneven or crooked. Okay, so these biscuits are great to do drop biscuits. Here's a picture of the drop biscuits. You just mix up the batter, drop it onto the tray and bake them. Or you can roll them out and cut them with a biscuit cutter. And these would be great to make your breakfast sandwiches if you like them on a biscuit. You can also make a sweet version of the biscuits by putting our cinnamon chips into the batter, and then when they're done, dusting them with a cinnamon sugar coating. You can also use it to drop it on top of our chicken pot pie soup from Soup Supreme. So there's 6 of our mixes that we're offering now, and in catalog number 10, we're going to be offering 2 more. One that's coming back is the Krusteaz Pie Crust Mix, so I'm excited for that to come back. And then we're going to have a new one, which is a multi-grain pancake mix. That will be new on catalog number 10. So look forward to those 2 mixes, but I hope I've given you some great ideas on the 6 that we're now currently offering, and have fun with them. Use them, try all kinds of great fun ideas with them to make them your own. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becky. Wonderful video. Super informative. Really appreciate that. So I'll go ahead and start the 3rd video. As I was going to look over at Vicky's computer, she did say that when I uploaded that 2nd video, she couldn't see it until she clicked on that little blue square on her control panel. It's basically like a full screen or not full screen button. So kind of kind of check that out when you're doing that. So I will upload the third video, and then after that we'll do the Q&A. So here we go.
Self-motivation, the secret to success. 3 things keep us from getting our Allison's Pantry task done, or anything for that matter. We all have this problem. We are exhausted, we are beyond busy, and sometimes we're too scared to make the next move. So how do we fix that? That's what we're going to talk about today. Everybody is so busy, but there's this fallacy that you need to have a big block of time to accomplish a task. You don't. No one has 2 hours to make reminder phone calls, but you do have 15 minutes here and there interspersed in your schedule. So do something in 15-minute increments. The 15-minute rule means that you set your timer and only work on a task for 15 minutes at a time. If your bathroom needs to be cleaned, then just spend 15 minutes doing it. If you have a child that's misbehaving, spend 15 minutes a day giving them your undivided positive attention and see how things change by the end of the week. You can clean out a junk drawer in 15 minutes. Try making reminder phone calls and texts in just 15 minutes at a time each day of order week, rather than trying to spend a whole bunch of time one day making all of those reminder texts and phone calls. I'm not going to tell you about priorities and eliminating what is important or what is not important. Some stuff just has to be done, so do it in 15-minute increments. This month we are focusing on customer service, so let's talk about how all this applies to customer service. The best advertising you can have is a loyal customer spreading the word about how incredible your business is. Shep Hyken is a customer service expert. And last month we heard from Casey Regal. Casey doesn't have to spend a lot of time looking for new customers because her new customers come to her. Her loyal customers, those that love and appreciate the service and the products that she offers them, are telling their friends and family about it, and so then the customers just automatically come to her. So it's worth the time to invest in good customer service. Also, customer service is not hard. 2 words: be nice. Smile, be friendly. Those kinds of things, they're not difficult. It's just a matter of making that extra effort. Also, it doesn't take long. Good customer service can happen anywhere from 5 seconds to 5 minutes. Send a text, email rep support with a question, smile, ask how your customer's family is doing. It's important to get back to your customers in 24 hours. If they send you a text, just text them back and say, hey, I got your message. Let me do a little research on that and get right back to you. Or I got your order. As soon as I get it in the computer, I will email you a copy of your invoice. Or make sure that you have your answering machine set up so that if a customer wants to leave a message, that they can. Customers do not expect employees to go out of their way during every interaction. Most customers simply want to receive the product or service ordered at the time and price expected. So really, good customer service can be really straightforward and not difficult. Another thing that holds us back is that we're just too tired. You don't try to drive your car without gas, so don't try to drive your body without proper nutrition, exercise, and sleep. And I know that sometimes that's really difficult. I don't know how else to say it, just that you have to make that a priority so that you have the strength and energy to do what needs to be done. But also, we trick ourselves into thinking that we are tired. Studies done in the 1990s proved that our brains will conserve energy to protect ourselves. It's from our caveman days, when a reservoir of energy was the difference between life and death. We have all tried to exercise and then talked ourselves into quitting halfway through because we're tired. It's a trick. We really aren't that tired. We could keep going if we really wanted to, if, say for instance, we were going to get paid $100 to finish the workout. It's the same thing with a work task or a relationship task. We don't do it because we think we're too tired. Another problem we have is we procrastinate because we don't feel like doing it. We take a longer lunch, we get on social media, we hit the snooze button, anything to keep us busy so we don't have to do what we don't feel like doing. Let me repeat that. We don't do what we don't feel like doing. We listen to our feelings rather than our brains. We haven't learned how to parent ourselves yet. Well, guess what? You will never feel like it. You will never feel like talking to a new person about Allison's Pantry. You will never feel like making reminder calls. You will never feel like getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and exercising or eating a salad instead of French fries. Recently, I was talking to my trainer friend at the gym. She lost over 70 pounds and has kept it off for several years. A few of us were standing there discussing how hard it is to eat healthy. I thought for skinny people like her, she just craves salad rather than fries. Wrong. She said it's always hard. She just does what she doesn't feel like doing. When everyone else is eating fries, she eats salad. Mel Robbins, and she looks great too. Mel Robbins, in her book, Stop Saying You're Fine, said, to grow, you have to do the stuff that feels hard now, not later. That means super successful people aren't successful because they have talent or skills. They're successful because they do what they don't feel like doing. And when they fall off the wagon, they don't quit, they get back on. This is very exciting news. Why? Because it means I don't have to be special. I just need to be willing to work hard and do what I don't feel like doing. Well, I can do that. Anyone can. So what is the secret for making you do what you don't feel like doing? Change your state. Change your state, change your mind. In a nutshell, state is how you feel. You can be in an enabling state of confidence, strength, joy, or energy. Or you can be in a paralyzing state of discouragement, anxiety, exhaustion, or depression. Depending on what state you are in will depend on what you can accomplish. How much can you get done when you are feeling discouraged? What about that day you started your new diet? You were pumped, you were excited, and ready to go. So you made all the right choices that first day because of how you felt. There are several ways to change your state instantly. I will mention just two. The other day, it was about 1:30 in the afternoon. It was after lunch. I was hot, I was restless, I was tired, and I didn't want to sit at my computer. I didn't even want to keep working. I wanted to take a short 30-minute power nap to get my energy back. But I didn't have 30 extra minutes to waste, so I went to YouTube and turned on Meghan Trainor's Me Too music video. For those of you who don't know, it's a catchy pop tune with a fun beat. She sings about how awesome she is and how everyone wishes they could be her. I turned it up full blast and started dancing in my chair, singing while I worked. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. By the time the song was over, I felt 1,000,000 times better and went on to finish my day feeling great. Music has a profound effect on our mood and can help change our state instantly. Next, body language. Try this. Hunch over in your chair. Really, do it right now. Hunch over in your chair, fold your arms, hang your head down, kind of make a growly face. How do you feel? Now try a high power pose. Sit up, put your arms out, make your body take up more space. Studies show that how you hold your body can actually change your hormone levels. Now everybody stand up and pose like a superhero. I know you're sitting in your chair, you're at your computer. Stand up and pose. There's some pictures right there you can choose. Pose like a superhero. Now say, I am awesome. How do you feel? You just changed your state. Change your state, change your mind, and change your feelings. Then you'll be able to override your subconscious. And you'll change your ability to do what you don't feel like doing. And when you do what you don't feel like doing, you will get what you want. The last challenge that holds us back. We're too scared. We're too scared to make reminder phone calls or send those texts. We think, oh, what if I'm bothering them? Or maybe it's a bad time to call. Or I don't want to be pushy. Or what if they don't want to talk to me anyway? What if they think I'm weird? Or I hate talking on the phone. Well, there's a solution for that. It's called the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins, I quoted her earlier from her book, but she also has a TED Talk that's called Stop Screwing Yourself Over. After this is over, you're going to want to check it out. She's so good. But she teaches this principle that you just have to be courageous for 5 seconds. And if you'll move in 5 seconds, it'll change your life. She says, knowing what to do will never be enough. Knowing why you need to do it will never be enough. If you have an impulse to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill the idea. A really good example of this is Matt Damon in the show We Bought a Zoo. He talks about 20 seconds of courage. He tells his children the story about how he first met his wife and how he only had 20 seconds of courage to walk up to her, introduce himself, and have a conversation with her, which of course led to them getting married and having a family. So it's the same idea. Just having courage for just a couple seconds is enough to get done what needs to be done. But you have to move on it. Tell somebody what you're going to do, ask for help if you need it, but absolutely move within 5 seconds of your inspiration or your idea that you need to do something. We've talked about 3 things today that can really help you. They can help you anywhere in your life, from problems at work to relationship problems, from wanting to get healthy to facing the challenges of anxiety and depression. And they can certainly help you to accomplish your Allison's Pantry tasks. The 15-minute rule, change your state, and the 5-second rule. These things can help you be more successful and feel less stressed. I challenge you to pick one tool and try it today.
Awesome. So that was the last video. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and jump on our webcams again. And we'll still going over the questions. So I hope you guys really enjoy the webinar. We kind of go up here. Okay, so
I really did it, Julie. I stood up and
so
did
did I.
it. Awesome.
Anybody else stand like a superhero? I love it. That was great. So, real quick question: is there any way to purchase extra labels on the spices if we wanted to separate them and give the sample prizes? I remember like years and years ago. In fact, I have some in my spice cabinet myself. Is that we did that? I've emailed Kim to see if we can find those templates. And,
I think I have them, Josh. I think I do.
Templates?
So I'll send it to you if I do. Yeah.
We'll see if we can find them for you guys, and then we'll post them on the blog. It would be way easier if you guys just bought the paper or the stickers to print them on rather than us doing it, because the reason we quit doing it is they kept getting crumpled and crinkled in shipping, and it was pretty rough. So yeah, we'll do that.
I just use the little labels, little mailing labels, and like if you get the little bit bigger ones, then instead of these little ones that I put my name on for my catalogs, use just a little bit larger, and you can put all the information on there, and then just stick them on your bags. They work, or your jars, or whatever you use. It works really good.
Yeah, I mean the ones I'm thinking of were.
Yeah, they're the size of the labels on the jars. Yeah.
And they have the spice kind of around or whatever.
Yeah.
We could find some stuff for both of them, but that's a great idea. People really like that. Another one, not necessarily a question, but a comment, is that add powdered milk to the vanilla sugar for a great coffee creamer, or skip the sugar and add to hot cocoa. So great idea there.
And there's a whole bunch more recipes on that PDF for the sugars, all different ones. We just didn't. I talked too long, and so we had to cut a lot of stuff out. So.
Yeah, her original video was over half an hour.
Yeah.
So we had to cut it down to 18 minutes. But we are going to find, or not find, but kind of cut and paste some of her other previous videos that we weren't able to show with that one, and kind of use those so we won't waste them, because it's great information. I mean, I keep saying that the Food Network's going to catch wind of these and steal my RSMs away from me.
And the butter. Somebody asked about the butter one, and
yeah, seasoned butter. So those are included in your other video, right?
Right. I took that off because we didn't talk about it, but there's garlic seasoned ones, and then there's also some sweet butters. So watch for that video. We're going to show it, and then I'll attach the PDF to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the PDFs are in your control panel, just on the right-hand side. I don't know why I'm holding up my finger like this, but it's there. And they're on the right-hand side of the screen. If you don't see the PDFs for some reason, well, I mean, they're there, but they will be on the blog, the same place where we post all of the videos after we do them, these webinars. So they'll be on there. if you need them as well. 15 increments are great. Love that. Even if you did a PDF with a spice label, we could print our own. Yes. I like to print these handouts and give to one customer that orders the product. They like it for ideas, and yeah, that's great. So really, really awesome video. I mean, I always I feel like a broken record saying how awesome the videos are all the time, but they really are. You know, they put in so much time and effort into these videos and do such a great job. And it seems like you guys are really loving the videos. I mean, we're starting to plan 2017 for doing, continuing these webinars. So I really love them, and I can tell you guys really love them, so that's great. Any other questions about the webinars, or really anything else that you guys have? I know that they covered everything so darn good that maybe you don't have any questions. Okay. Oh, another question, can we order more of the tote bags? It kind of depends on how many we have left over. The company that makes them, they actually ran out of the blue ones. Like well, I wouldn't say we oversold them, but we sold way more than I anticipated. So actually the blue group, we were like 50 short, but they're actually coming in tomorrow, so we'll be okay. But then for the red group, we're actually going to have red and black totes. I mean, they'll look nearly identical. They'll just be red and black. But I ordered more than I thought we would need. But of course, orders aren't coming in till next Monday, so I won't know exactly how many we have. I cleaned them out of everything. They don't have any more. So I really, I ordered like 300 or 400 more than what Blue Group did. So I think we will have extras. It just depends on how many we have. We do have, in fact, let me grab one. We do have more freezer bags for you guys. We have the red and the blue. Basically, they ran out of blue, so I had to get some red ones. They're available for $19.99 for you guys to order. But they're pretty awesome. We had you guys loved them, so I went and bought a whole bunch more. We have about 130 of them or so, and it'll if you guys want to buy those, that'll be great. Let's see. I asked about buying more of the freezer bags. Anyway, do you know how much? Yeah, the freezer bags are $19.99 for reps, and we're probably going to be putting them on catalog 11 for customers to buy also for $19.99. They just, I have to double check with the manufacturer to make sure they can handle a pretty good volume. He said he was getting in more of them. It's just, I don't want to sell something that we short, because we already have a rough time with that anyway if we short stuff. Let me, there's another question I think I missed. Would it be possible to break down each of the videos so that we could show each product one to a customer? Is possible. I hate to say it wouldn't be worth my time, since like 3 or 4 people watch the videos already. You could probably just skip through it. They're on YouTube, so it's really quick just to be like, okay, the first one is about 18 minutes, so go to the 18-minute mark. The next one's about 15 minutes, or just kind of think, they're about 15 minutes, and just kind of skip through to them. If a whole lot of reps said, oh yeah, that would be awesome, I guess I think I'd look into it, but it would require some more video editing and cutting them up and posting them separately, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but if more people really want it, I'll look into it. Let's see, are the tote bags the same price as the cooler bags? No, the tote bags are way cheaper. I'm not sure what we'd sell the tote bags for. but it'd be like around the $4 or $5 range. Because in fact, I have one. I can show you. So the tote bags, they're pretty darn nice. They're way nicer than I thought they would be, which is always a fun thing. But they have a zipper that opens. And I mean, I am looking for maybe a different tote bag that we can sell, because I am like super loving a branded Allison's Pantry product. So I am looking for it. I just haven't found one yet. I've been pretty busy with other stuff. But the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an Allison's Pantry branded. This will be a different color, probably the blue again, but an Allison's Pantry branded, whatever this is called.
Oven mitt.
Oven mitt. I'm losing my mind. But and also we're going to be doing an Allison's Pantry apron for you guys. So it'll be a blue apron that'll have the Allison's Pantry logo. It'll actually be I don't have a shirt that has Allison's Pantry, but it'll be
Embroidered.
I don't know what's wrong with my mind today. I have
It's
a lot
the
on my
camera.
mind.
It does it to us all the time.
Yeah.
Look at the camera.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be embroidered, which costs quite a bit more, but so we'll be doing that as well. And I ordered a ton extra, so you guys can buy those if you want to have those. So we're really trying to get some branded stuff for you guys to buy. It's just we're kind of starting slow. It's a new thing for us, and I had no idea the response would be so good. So really happy about that. So we'll keep doing that. Love my freezer bag, but it does not hold in ice. Thanks for letting us order them. Oh. So it kind of leaks, I'm guessing is what that means. Yeah, I mean, they're not super high-end. I mean, my wife has one already that was, really, really nice. I said, well, ours probably costs about half that one. But, I do love it. I love the idea of the tote bag with the logo, because people carry it around. They can be doing advertising for us. Yeah, exactly. Are the T-shirts still available to purchase?
Till the 31st.
I think it's the 26th, Friday.
The 26th? I thought it was the 31st. 26th. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Friday.
Yeah, just go to Teespring and click the link. It's in the blog if you missed it.
It's on the website. I mean, it's on the Facebook page.
Facebook.
It's an email.
Quite a few ways to grab that. But
it's free advertising. All you do is put your shirt on in the morning, and then everybody asks you what Allison's Pantry is. So it's just
okay. Yeah, August 25th. And it's a really fun design. Lori, really had a fun time making it. So and I love it. And we'll probably do more than one. We just wanted to try it, see how you guys would like it, see how many we sold. I think we're up to about 55 or 60 so far, which is pretty cool. Next time we're actually going to put the information in the catalog, because that's our best advertising tool. So that's really exciting. Once we sold those oven mitts that had the silicone, can they come back? We can look into it. I'll ask him about it. Yeah, I do remember those. I think they were Norpro. But, yeah, they were pretty nice. Branded products. They make product for giveaways, donate for fundraisers. Yeah, and kind of the tote will be more of that. In fact, the oven mitt, what we're going to be doing is it'll be another free item that you can get it for $100. And what we're thinking of doing is saying, once you do hit the $100, you can buy as many as you want for X amount. We haven't decided how much it is yet, because I mean it's we're subsidizing it so you guys can do that. So watch for that on number 11. Anyway, I haven't seen any dry soup mixes. Will they be coming? Probably not. We don't do a whole lot with Plentiful Pantry anymore. Of course,
We
Kim.
do have the number 10 cans. There's number 10 cans of dry soup mix in 9 and 10.
Are those the ones from?
I think they're from August Farms.
Oh, she did say that. Yeah, we have some.
We're bringing back those.
On 11 and 12. And, that's what I was thinking. August and Farms.
Yeah.
The beer bread ones, isn't
Beer
that?
bread and the, yeah, I think we're bringing back the soup and bread gift pack.
Chili and, mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Superb
Yeah,
soup set on 11 and 12. And the Augustin ones have the soup and bread kits only for 10 and 12. So that'll be good. I got an email about a rep survey. Is that up to be filled out? And where do I... a rep survey? I don't know of any rep survey. We did one about a year ago. It was about accepting credit cards and stuff. If you're a brand new rep, we send one out. Lori does, and yeah, just fill it out, and when you're done, it submits it to Lori. So kind of, yeah. If you got one, basically she's just wanting to see how everything's going, make sure you don't need anything that we've forgotten to talk to you about, and if we can help. So that'd be pretty good. Oh, by the way, the number 12 is the catalog that will be selling the freezer bags as long as they have enough stock. We'll try and work on that. Kim is helping me through Skype. She's on the webinar. But actually, I'm really excited. We had 41 reps on for this webinar, and 48 registered. So that's actually a really good turnout. So really impressed, really happy. So great job. Thanks for attending. Looks like the questions have kind of slowed down. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for attending. Huge thanks to the RSMs for doing an amazing job on the webinars. We love what you guys do. And I'll go ahead and end the webinar. And be sure to look for the handouts. Download them if you haven't already, or just they'll probably be on the website by Thursday or Friday. So thanks everyone for coming, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.